music stops, and you know what that means. It's the Will and Russ Sports Podcast coming back at you again, episode 15. I'm Russ, aka the Prophet.
And I'm Will, aka Will Dramas, ready to get it on again, baby.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So we gotta this is almost like a part two, a
Yeah,
continuation of our last episode.
yeah, yeah.
Where we touched on so much NFL and we even touched on some college football.
Right.
So this is just follow up for the things that we didn't really touch on in the last episode,
Right. Right.
right? Yeah, and then we'll go into our predictions, of course, for this NFL week.
No doubt, Russ. I guess we could start off by let's do some NFL headlines, before we get into the predictions. You know what I mean? A lot of
Yeah,
things happened this past weekend, man, that needs to be addressed. Uh,
right,
I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot, so many things, man. From quarterbacks getting hurt, being out for the year, to being out for weeks, to quarterback changes happening everywhere.
right,
Uh, Players want to get traded, requesting trades,
right,
trade happening, people giving up different first round picks here and there. So, a lot of things to touch on. So we got, let's just get right into it. Um, Number one, I guess the elephant in the room here, man, is Big Ben. Big Ben's out for the year. Something
right,
happened to his elbow. I don't know exactly what that was or how. I mean, it was a non-contact injury. I
right,
mean, the guy he just dropped back threw the ball, and next thing you know, he's grabbing his elbow. I mean, apparently he tore ligaments in his elbow, as far as I can understand. That was reported.
right.
Um, you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers they're reeling right now, man. They got a lot going on. Um, I've been,
Now it's the team you picked to win the division, right?
exactly. That's the team I picked to win the division. You know, this drastically changes that. Um, but
Yeah,
however, my name is Wilstradamus for a reason, so I'm gonna go ahead and
right.
stick with my pick. I'm
Yeah,
gonna pick.
it's still early. Still
Yeah,
early.
no doubt. And I'm gonna pick the Pittsburgh Steelers to win that division. Um, I know it sounds pretty stupid right now to say, but you
Yeah,
know,
but you
uh,
said Pittsburgh from the beginning, so
yeah, no doubt. And I feel bad for Ben, because I had high hopes for this Pittsburgh Steelers, but I mean, you never know. Maybe Mason Rudolph can come in there and
yeah,
and catch lightning in a bottle, and you
right.
never know what happens. So,
That's the thing about the NFL. You know what I mean? It can happen.
right,
So
exactly.
you never know how things are gonna change. Like I remember Jeff Hostetler did it for the Giants back in the day.
Yeah, exactly,
You know,
exactly.
came in when
That's a
Phil
matter of fact.
Simms
That's a
got hurt.
great analogy, Russ. That's a great comparison because that's
Yeah,
exactly how it happened too. You know
right.
what I mean? Phil Simms went down, and Jeff Hostetler, who was little known, nobody knew too much about
Nobody
him,
knew much about anything about Jeff Hostetler.
right? And he came and won the Super Bowl. So I mean,
Right,
it is what it is. I'm not saying that's going to happen,
right.
but you know, we'll see. What else? We got uh the Saints lost Drew Brees. Your thoughts on that, man? There's a potential that he'll come back during the season. At
Yeah,
some point. At some
towards the end
point,
of the season, probably.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
maybe
What-
midway if he. But he's
yeah,
getting older too, so those injuries last a little bit longer.
right,
Same thing with Ben.
exactly, exactly. So, I mean, what do you think about? What are your thoughts on that? I mean, losing,
Wow,
Drew.
it's devastating to see these guys go down like that, especially all in like one weekend. Um, I mean, if one was to look at it, really deeply, they might look at it from the perspective of the fact that the preseason games that they don't play as much and they're not,
Right.
and their body's not ready like it should be.
Yeah.
Even though they don't play much in preseason, but they really don't play much in
Right.
preseason.
They don't.
The stuff.
Yeah.
You know. they're getting a couple quarters now, a few quarters now for the season starts.
Right.
You
You know
know,
what I mean?
and that's it. You
Um,
know, so
well, I mean, with that said, Teddy Bridgewater has an opportunity here, man, to put his stamp
yes,
on the Saints. I mean, I'm not saying Teddy is Drew. He'll never be Drew.
no, no,
But you know how I feel about Teddy. It's well documented how I feel
yeah,
about
right.
Russ. So I believe the kid is a leader. I believe he's clutch. I
I
believe,
like Teddy. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, exactly. I
and I
believe,
didn't. Yeah, and I'll be honest. I didn't like him coming out of the draft.
okay,
I didn't like Teddy Bridgewater coming out of the draft, but he grew on me, right? And like I said, it was when he got that injury. That was when I had really gained respect for, Teddy Bridgewater.
right, right,
I had really gained respect for Teddy Bridgewater after he was injured. That well, right, I should say prior to him getting injured, with how he was playing, and I thought that was the best I had seen him play. He was at his best, and he had really grown on me. Like, nah, this kid, like he proved himself to me basically.
right.
So I like him as well. So I hope he is. I hope he does do it.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
I hope he does play well. And I mean I respect Drew Brees as well. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think like I said, you know how I feel about Teddy. I think he's going to do well. The only concern I would have for Teddy is Um, the offensive line has not been looking too good this year for the Saints so far. I know it's only been 2 games, but
right.
a couple of them has been banged up, and as a whole, they've been kind of porous.
But wouldn't that benefit? Don't you think that would benefit Teddy though,
um,
with the
well,
opportunity to run more
to
than
run,
even
yeah,
Drew Brees? More than
yeah,
what Drew Brees could do.
yeah, because Teddy is truly a little bit more
And that
athletic.
can help. That can help a offensive line that can
Yeah,
help a little bit.
yeah, that's true.
He's still gonna be
Um,
running for his life, but if he has the ability to run, then he can become a threat.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, he does have the. I mean, he's not the most athletic,
No,
quarterback. He's not Michael Vick, obviously,
no, no,
but he,
absolutely,
he
absolutely
can
not.
run. He's very elusive when he runs too. And one
Yeah.
thing I really like about Teddy is Teddy is a he has very how can I put this? He has very good ball handling skills, and this is what I mean by that, Russ. You know how some quarterbacks when they're getting sacked, when they're getting pressure right in their face, they
Yeah.
tend to just kind of crumble, because they're not very athletic.
Right.
What Teddy can do is, you know, Teddy will pump fake you as a defensive end. You're rushing straight at him, free rush or whatever the case may be. He'll
Hmm.
pump fake, make you jump and go around you, and then set up again to make a nice throw.
And
He
that's why I'm
buys
saying,
time.
I mean, Drew Brees can do that too, but Teddy's a
Yeah.
little bit more. I feel he's a little bit more athletic than Brees.
Yes.
He's more athletic than Brees, and just like what you're saying, that I know what you're talking about. So that's when I said like he becomes a threat then to the defense because of the running, because the line is going to break down sooner, and he's finding a way to escape and make plays. Then
Right.
he becomes a threat, and then that even has to slow their. That'll even slow the pressure up. You know,
Exactly.
make
Exactly.
them readjust, make the defense readjust.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for him to have, I'm not saying he'll have Drew Brees type of success, but if he can tread water until Drew Brees gets back, I think they'll be okay. Again, I
Uh,
think
he's
Saints.
got to do more than tread water because they're playing the Seahawks in Seattle.
Yeah, no, that's wow.
What a way
That's
to
a hell of
start, you know?
that's a hell of a way to start.
Right.
you know. But wow. Yeah, no, that's well, I tell you what, if he, let's say Drew Brees is out for 6 games, if he can go 3-3, I
Right.
think that'll be that can, if he can hold the fort down to at least a 500 record until Drew Brees gets back, I think they'll be fine. I remember that's my pick to win that division.
To win that division, right?
So I'm sticking with that pick. I'm obviously a little bit more confident with that pick than I am with the one, with the NFC North pick. But
Right.
It is what it is. But so the Saints, I think this if they can go 500 in these last 6 games, again 3-3, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the New York Jets, Russ. What's your comment on those guys, man? Because they're not starting off too good.
I
They
mean,
lost their backup quarterback.
right. And
I
now they got
mean,
the pay. They got to go face the Patriots. I mean,
oh
that's
wow,
that's gonna be rough
yeah,
in New England too, on the road. But it's a division game, so you never know sometimes.
yeah,
But
that's true. But it might get really ugly really fast.
yeah,
It might get
they
real.
they Le'Veon needs some help. You know.
Yes. By the way, so I remember yesterday you asked me if Le'Veon. I mean, yeah, do we have any confirmation on if he was crying or not? Or
No, I haven't had any confirmation on whether he was crying. I'm gonna leave that like how we said it yesterday. it's I know Le'Veon's a warrior, so maybe it's a different. There's a reasoning behind
right?
the that situation.
Yeah, yeah,
He's intense. He's passionate enough where it's like I explained a lot. Yesterday. I mean, if he's passionate enough where maybe it's a situation where he didn't not liking to lose.
right,
Taking it personal, whatever. Okay, you know, you caught up in the game. That happens.
right.
But I
Yeah,
don't know. It did look like from what I saw. But
yeah. I mean, like I said, you know, it might have been raining there, so I'll give him that excuse. You know, I'll give him that excuse.
oh man.
Yeah, it was raining. Um, it's overcast weather. It was raining. Um, but uh, I mean,
oh
you know
man.
what I mean. When it starts raining, you got raindrops falling on
Yeah,
you.
I got you. I got you.
You know what I mean? So we'll give him that. Give him that excuse.
Okay.
Um, what are some other headlines that we?
Okay. Oh man.
What's some other headlines that I would? Oh yeah, let's. Um, Russ, this Jalen Ramsey deal. What's your take on this, man?
You know what? I'm so glad that you know what. That's something I definitely wanted to talk about. That's exactly what it was. I wanted to talk about. Um, not just Jalen Ramsey, but
Mhm.
this new trend that's going on right now in the NFL, where guys lose a game and like big crybabies,
Right,
they want to be traded.
right, right. That's crazy.
This is starting to be like like it's a domino effect almost now. Everybody, it's like, what are y'all? So I don't want a quitter. You know,
Right,
care how talented they are. I'm
exactly.
not saying Jalen Ramsey's a quitter. I'm not saying I'm just saying I don't want anybody that is gonna give up that easily.
Right. Well, apparently, from my understanding,
It's just the wrong mentality to me.
yeah, he and Doug Marone, their head coach, got into a huge heated argument on the
So
sideline.
what? So
I
what?
know. I'm
You know what
with
I
you.
mean? Because I mean, how many is that something new? Like we've never seen that before.
Right, right. That's true. That's true. I agree with you.
And we
So
we we saw we saw the on the Houston Oilers back in the days. We saw Buddy Ryan punch
Kevin Gilbride.
Kevin Gilbride,
Yeah, yeah, I
on the
remember that.
sidelines. You know what I mean? And look, him and Mike Ditka hated each other.
Hated
You
each other.
know,
Yeah, right.
did
Exactly.
not. I say I don't even want to use hate. I'll say they didn't like each other for sure. They weren't best friends.
Right.
And Mike was the head coach, running the offense, and Buddy was the defensive coordinator, and they didn't get along, and that was the '85 Bears.
Right. Absolutely.
So we've seen that. That's nothing new. Like Parcells,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Parcells. Sims getting into it on the sideline.
always into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah, man.
nobody was
I
ready to
mean,
be traded.
right. Well, again, like I, from my understanding that okay, it all stemmed from Jalen Ramsey. He didn't like the defense that was called. He wants to be, he wants to play man. The defense was calling, the defensive coordinator was calling for zone coverage, and he felt that, it takes away from his abilities to be a true lockdown corner when he put him in zone, and instead of having him lock on man to man, and he got upset about that and let it be known, and he didn't like it, and Doug Marone didn't give a damn if he liked it or not. So that happened on the sideline. That happened on the sideline, and he's now is requesting a trade.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. I mean, that's not enough, Jalen. And Jalen as a football player is is the truth. Like he is the truth. Like I don't think I'm questioning his skill set. Like
Right.
his skill set is legit. He's a legit cover corner. So I understand that what he's saying, but that's still not the way to handle it. You know what I mean? That's not the way to handle that situation. You go, okay, y'all had a blow up. You went it. Go handle it then. Now let's go get the solution so we can go back and win football games. You
Exactly.
know that's the mentality I'm coming from. Like that. Like let's go win football games. We're gonna figure this out.
Right.
We'll figure this out. I'm willing to listen to you because Jalen, you got to be able to play zone too sometimes.
Exactly.
That's only going to make you a better player. It's not like you can't play zone, but I understand he is a cover corner, and a cover corner is going to want to play man to man.
Right. Right.
So I can respect that, but I just don't like the give up. Man, oh well, I can't be happy here, and it's not that big of a deal. There's a
It
lot of
really
that's not new to football. We've seen Sean Payton and them go at it
absolutely.
with his
Yep.
coaches. I mean, we've seen that a few times.
Yep.
Right there, and they still keep going.
You know, like you said though, this trend of players wanting to leave because they can't have it their way. I mean, man, this is not Burger King, okay, guys? Come on.
Right,
This is
right,
professional football. You can't have it your way all the time. That's why coaches coach and players play. You know, um,
exactly.
you know, wh- I
What
mean,
about Vernon Davis?
oh yeah, exactly.
When
Um,
Vernon Davis,
and Mike Ditka.
early on
I
with
mean, I'm
Mike
Mike
Singletary,
Singletary. Yeah, Mike
Vernon
Singletary.
he kicked him off the sideline, or Vernon went back to the locker room one time. He was upset. He wasn't feeling Singletary, but he came back and played for him,
Right. And you
and
know
was
what?
and was very successful after that.
Exactly, Russ.
And
And to
now
this,
he appreciates. They appreciate each other.
exactly. And Vernon Davis will be the first to tell you. He'll say after that tongue lashing he got from Mike Singletary, he grew as a man, as a pro. You know,
Right,
Vernon
right.
Davis now is looked to as a very, he's a professional athlete.
Yeah,
You know
of
what I'm saying?
course
He
he is. Of
carries
course he
himself
is.
as such. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Still got vicious speed too.
Absolutely. And sometimes, sometimes guys don't realize, uh, you know, when you're young, I mean, Jalen Ramsey's a young kid, he's very talented. He's got some money. So, usually guys like that think they know it all. You know what I mean? But they don't.
Right, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Is like I understand. Like you could be. I think yeah, you could be however you want to be, but don't. You gotta just remember. Just because you got all that skills and talent, that's not enough all the time. You
Right.
gotta have the mental have control of your mind. It's a mental game. That's why Tom Brady perfects that. Why he plays like that.
Exactly.
Or all the legends. When you think about all the legends, how they played.
Yep. I mean,
They
exactly.
were smart. They made smart football decisions.
Hmm.
Big plays and big moments.
Right. Yeah, man. So that whole
And,
situation,
and he locked down Hopkins. Wow.
yes, he did. He did.
He put the clamps on Hopkins.
He sure
Man. That's why I said that kid's talent is for real. Like he can cover.
he definitely can cover. But he said he's playing tomorrow.
Right.
They're saying that they're not going to trade him, at least not yet. He said he'll be playing tomorrow night against the Titans, and
Right.
so we'll see about that. We'll see what happens with that thing.
I mean, it could end up blowing over, and later on we'll be looking back at it and say, remember that time when Jalen Ramsey said he wanted to trade and everything, and but he still ended up playing
Right.
for the Jags, and they ended up having success. You know, yeah, you never know.
Exactly, man. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. The other defensive back that wanted out, Minka Fitzpatrick, he got his wish.
Right.
They
That
traded
was
him
another. That was yeah. You know,
out of Miami.
that's why when everybody was saying the Cowboys were in the running for him, I was like, we don't. You know, we just lost. He's a. Yeah, I mean, I know Minka. It would have been good to have him because we just lost the safety for a little bit.
Right.
So we'll
Yeah, I
see.
mean,
I mean, I just didn't. I didn't want him to come to the Cowboys. I wasn't just for that same reason. You know,
yeah, well, Minka. I mean, by the way, what do you think? What's your opinion on Minka Fitzpatrick? I mean, as far as a player, forget about all the all field stuff, but as a player,
as a player, I think he's a good safety. Yeah, I
okay.
think he's a good safety.
Yeah, he's decent. He's
He's
pretty
a,
decent.
yeah, he's a decent safety.
Yeah, yeah, he's pretty decent.
I don't think he's the best safety in the league.
No, no, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I can name a handful of safety that.
Right, you know. So that's why I said but he's a decent safety. That's why I said I wasn't so happy. Like, oh, let's get him. A lot of people were. A lot of Cowboy fans were looking
Right.
to get him. But
Yeah. Um. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. He's actually supposed to start in Pittsburgh this coming Sunday.
yeah,
Um. So Mike Tomlin already, really basically just etched it in stone. So
right,
we'll see how he performs. You know what I mean? Antonio Brown, Russ, is back in the
yeah,
news. But apparently this whole thing going on with his trainer accusing him of rape and all this.
right.
Um, he's not going to be prosecuted according to the state's attorney in the state of Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. Um, according to the state's attorney, the statute of limitations has passed, so they can't prosecute him for that. That's what's been reported.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts on Antonio Brown now, basically having I guess from the outside looking in, sort of like I guess a clean slate, with these new allegations being basically non-prosecuted.
I mean, I don't know because I thought I saw something saying he wasn't going to be, you know, put up on any charges because it was a statute of limitations, and I don't think anything's gonna happen to him right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I mean. I think he's basically just got an olive branch, meaning he got lucky that
Right,
this thing is looks like it's gonna blow over,
right.
and I guess he'll be much more focused on football. Um, just curious, what do you think he's gonna do? How do you think he's gonna do with New England? Just you know, off the
Oh,
surface.
I think he's gonna ball.
Okay,
He's gonna get on target with Brady, and he's gonna ball. I mean, one thing he can do is play. You know,
no doubt, no
he can
doubt,
play.
no doubt about that. No doubt about that, bro. Boy, but the ball, and you see that's what makes it so perplexing because it's like, damn, Antonio, you don't even need to be throwing pen
Nah,
under
he
us.
doesn't. Yeah, he
You
doesn't.
know what I mean?
He's a special one. He's got special skills.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
don't even need that. You don't even need to be, cussing out Juju Smith-Schuster, throwing him under the bus, getting mad at him,
Right.
jealous of Big
Nah.
Ben throwing him under the bus. You don't need to. You just need,
Nah.
you know?
I mean, this a guy. This guy makes. It's not like he's not known for dropping balls. You know what I mean? He's not. He doesn't
Right.
have any of that. He's known for catching. He catches everything.
Right. He does. He does.
And he makes big plays like
Mm.
for years for the Steelers. He big plays. Big. You need a play. Him and Ben will hook up, and he's gonna get open,
Right.
and
Right.
he's gonna catch it, toe tap it out of bounds, whatever for the first down. That he makes big plays in big games too. In big games.
Absolutely.
Same
Absolutely.
thing with Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I was saying, man. It was so it's just confusing. Like, why is he so upset at
Right,
you know at Big Ben and Pittsburgh? I mean, yeah, you get upset, but I mean, he's upset to the point that when even with another team, he's still got these guys talking about these guys. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
It's amazing. And what disappointed me, honestly, Russ, with Antonio Brown, when Juju Smith Schuster complimented him on, basically saying like, look, man, I owe a lot to this guy. He taught me a lot. I appreciate what he did for me. And then he sends a message saying, you would along the lines of, if I wasn't there, you wouldn't have been nothing without me and da da da. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, come on, man, that's so self-absorbed. You know what I mean?
right,
Like, come
right,
on, just move on. Just move on.
right.
I don't get it. Just move on and
Yeah, now you're in New England. I mean, you definitely should let it go now. Now you go put it to the
absolutely.
field, and if you get to play him, then do your thing.
Exactly.
Go out
Exactly.
there and pay him back on the field.
Exactly. So,
And that's success is the best weapon. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
the best weapon. You go out there and ball out. You might end up in a Super Bowl, and they're not. Then you won out. It's gonna look like, at least perception is gonna look like you won out.
yeah, that's
You know.
facts.
So that's that. So like you were saying, he doesn't need to act like that. You know. But
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah. I mean,
Unless it was all a stage thing, so you could get out of off the Raiders and onto the Patriots. But that's another thing.
well, yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people think so. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think
Right,
so, including the greatest receiver of all time, Jerry Rice. Jerry
right.
Rice, last week, Jerry Rice said, look, man,
He was a diva.
yeah, but and Jerry Rice said, man, this guy fooled everybody, man. He knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted to go to the New England Patriots. So
Right,
he said, Jerry Rice said basically Oakland was just the middleman for him to get to New England.
right. That was the bridge. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
you know. So yeah, and I think you mentioned something about that too last week, Russ, when we did our
Right,
show. I think you did say, he used them because he knew what he was doing to get to New England.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So, you know, that's well,
Because
I
he
mean,
wanted. He originally said when he first wanted to be traded, that's the team he said he wanted to go to.
he did. I remember that. Yes, I do remember that. I mean, he's there now though.
Yeah.
He is on it. He is there. So, um, you know, um, speaking of about moves and headlines, I heard that Colin Kaepernick was mentioned about possibly an NFL team contacting him. I think either the Jaguars,
Thought it was the Jags.
Jets, one of the two. I'm
I
not
thought it was the
positive.
Jaguars because they lost Foles in week one.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's the Jags.
yeah. So I'm. What do you think about that? You think that'll materialize? I mean, I personally don't. I just think Kaepernick's done. I wish he could come back for his sake,
Well,
but
definitely not before tomorrow.
right, right.
You know what I mean? Definitely not before tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, Russ, I don't think he's coming back. I think it's over with.
Yeah,
I think it's over with. Absolutely. I think it's over with. I mean, I was pulling for the guy. I wish him the best. I wish him the best of luck and best of success, man. Because I got to give it to Kaepernick. He stood for what he believed, and
yeah,
and he took a lot of criticism for it, but he stood firm in his
yeah.
belief, and and also he put his money where his mouth was, and started
Right,
contributions financially and stuff like that. So I give him a lot of props, man. I mean, I wish the guy can come back and play and play the game he loves playing.
right.
However, I don't think it's going to happen because
Mm-mm.
politics, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, so but yeah, yep. So oh yeah, so now the NFL, the new schedule, the week three is coming up. So I guess we got to start our predictions for week three. Um,
Right.
we can start, for tomorrow's pick. I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead
Yeah.
and start
Yeah.
with
We'll
that.
start like we're gonna order with the 1 o'clock games and everything. But yeah, so we were just talking about the Jags and their quarterback situation. So they're playing tomorrow. They're at home against the Titans.
Right. Um,
What do you
we
think about that game?
uh, they're home. They're at home in Jacksonville.
Yes.
Hmm. You know what? Um, I'm gonna go with Jacksonville to win that game.
You gonna go with Jacksonville to win it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jacksonville to win that game. I think with
Because they're at
Ja-
home.
yeah, they're at home. They got a little bit of home field advantage. Also, Jalen Ramsey will be playing. Even this, I think this new kid Gardner Minshew that they have as their backup quarterback since Nick Foles has been not benched, but sidelined. I think
Yeah.
he'll pull a rabbit out of the hat and surprise them tomorrow, the Tennessee Titans, um, because I mean Tennessee's got a good defense, but I think with all this controversy going on in Jacksonville, I think I think they'll refocus on what they have to do, the task at hand, and go ahead and win the game. If I was to give a score, I'm going Jacksonville 17 and Tennessee 13.
Okay.
That's where I'm gonna go. How about you? What do you got?
For that game, for all the controversy that is going on, I just don't see. You know, maybe they've worked it out. And if they have, and they just put it towards the field, like I was saying earlier, we were talking about, then maybe the Jaguars will pull off this game. But I just don't think they will do it. I just think that with all the turmoil, I think it's going to be still hanging over. And if it is, it's gonna that's an unfocused team.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, because they got a lot of drama going on. If there's a lot of drama, if it really is like that, um, then there's a lot of drama going on, and I don't know if they're gonna be ready.
Mm-hmm.
The Titans come in there with a more focused team, they're gonna beat them, and that's who I got. That's who I'm picking to win this game. The Titans on the road to get the victory on Thursday Night Football. If I was gonna pick a score, I would say this game ends up being 24-10.
24-10. Okay.
Yeah, 24-10.
Okay. Well, we shall see. All right. What's the next game? What's the first 1 o'clock game going to? You have the list.
Yeah, I got it. Um, well, we'll start with the top. Dolphins Cowboys. Um, I think this is what people would call a setup game because
Trap game.
a trap game. There you go. But I think the Cowboys are poised enough to where they can handle the pressure and they'll blow. They should. I don't think they're gonna blow them out. They'll beat them by. It'll look like a blowout, but I don't think it's gonna be like a destruction. Dolphins will probably play their best game that they've played this year, or at least I don't know. It could just be a destruction. I don't know. But the Cowboys, I'm picking the Cowboys to win that game.
Any score?
Oh, we're gonna give score for everyone. Okay, we can
No,
do
not
that.
everyone.
Oh,
I'm
for
just
for the
curious on that.
Cowboys, what do you think? What do I think the score will be?
Yeah.
Um, I think it'll be like 17-3, something like that.
Wow. Is it in Miami?
No, it's in Dallas.
Oh, come on now. Really? It's in Dallas and you're gonna give 17-3.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those games where it's like the Cowboys will always have it in hand, but different things will happen to cause us to not score a lot, but we'll probably get a lot of yards, something like that. But we'll get the win. It'll be like 17-3.
Okay. Well,
Like for a while, it might be like 3-3 for a minute. It's gonna be something like that. And then we'll get it to go. We'll do a few touchdowns. And that'll put the game away for good.
okay.
That's yeah.
Here's my prediction on that. I believe the Cowboys will win in a blowout fashion. I believe the Cowboys offense is way too potent for the Dolphins defense. Dolphins defense,
I agree.
lost, they just lost their safety, Minka Fitzpatrick,
Right.
via trade. They lost their offensive lineman, Laramie Tunsil. Um, you know, they're Russ. These guys are mentally checked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't even want to play the game.
Yeah, we
You know?
talked about that before. I
Yeah,
think.
I bet
Yeah.
you, I can guarantee you, if you poll those guys, if you hypnotize those guys and say, look, where do you guys want to be right now? They'll tell you they want to be in Cabo instead of in Texas, in Arlington. All right. So I'm gonna
I
go what?
think it's gonna be one of those weird games, like where
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird game. It's gonna be a weird game, all right. It's
I
gonna
mean,
be
I would expect us to blow them out. Don't get me wrong. Not saying like I don't think the Dolphins are on that level. Like I just think that everybody's expecting that.
right,
That we should blow them out. This will be the game where after 3 games they'll play their best game for some reason.
right. Yeah, no,
And
no
and
doubt.
and I said 17-3. And so
Yeah,
it won't be like the Cowboys. It'll just be like some crazy stuff. We fumble I don't want to jinx it.
put
you
it this
know,
way.
but
Put it this way.
like there'll be some weird. You know how sometimes football games are like that, man, and it'll be a weird game where things will happen, but then they're just not good enough to beat us. So it'll be like 17-3.
Right. Well, put it this way.
And
Like,
Dak will have good numbers. Like they'll still put up a lot of yards, but we just only score probably 2 touchdowns. But you know,
well, here, like I said, my prediction is going to be this. I think it's going to be Cowboys in dominant fashion. I got
hope so.
42,
I mean, I hope so.
no doubt. I got 42 to 17 Dallas all the way, going away, winning, going away. Too
Okay.
much Dallas, too much Zeke, too much Dak, too much Devin Smith, um, Amari Cooper, and those guys. Hell, Jason Witten, all those guys are going to get in on the fun, man. The Dallas defense is going to dominate that Dolphins offense. What's the name of Fitzpatrick? Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
He'll give away at least 2 interceptions. I can guarantee that he'll give you 2 picks. Um, so I'm looking for a blowout fashion. I'm looking for blowouts. Period.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. I'm not. I hope your prediction is right and mine isn't.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, no doubt.
But if yours isn't, then I want mine to happen. As long
Right,
as we win the game.
no doubt.
Yeah.
42-17 Dallas. Next up,
Okay. Next up is the Bengals and the Bills in Buffalo. What you got?
um, I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm gonna go with the
Okay.
Cincinnati Bengals because the Bengals did show me something against Seattle that they can go on the
Mm-hmm.
road and compete with a pretty darn good team, a team
Right.
I to go to the Super Bowl. So I'll give them, I'll go off that. I'm not going to go off last week's performance because
Because against the 49ers at home, right? Yeah,
right, 'cause that
that
was
was
an
an
absolute
embarrassment.
debacle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll erase last week's performance out of my head.
That was
And
a call your agent from the locker room.
right, yeah, that was a call your agent from the locker room game.
Offer a trade. Give me a trade.
Right.
Nah, I mean stop.
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna rest my laurels on that. I'll do
Right.
this. I'll say the Cincinnati Bengals beat Buffalo. Buffalo right now is riding high. You know what I'm saying? They are riding
Right.
high because they've won 2 games in a row in very impressive fashion. Um, which is why I think Buffalo's still a young team. They're still
Right.
growing, but they're talented. So I think I think I think the Cincinnati Bengals will devise a defensive game plan to slow them down dramatically, and I think the Cincinnati Bengals will because Cincinnati is capable of putting a point. So I'll go with Cincinnati in that one. I would say I would say Cincinnati 27, Buffalo 21.
Okay.
Hmm. How
I
about
got
you?
the Bengals. I got. Go ahead.
No, I was asking, how about you?
Okay. I got the Bengals. I'm same with you. I got the Bengals pulling the upset. Um, because you lose this game to the Bills. It's it's starting to look tough. You're starting to lose too many big games. And I know that you starting to, yeah, you don't want to lose to the 49ers. Hey, it was great what they did in week 1 against the Seahawks, but they still lost.
Right.
Then you get blown out by the 49ers. So this game is, hey, this is judgment day, you know,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah. You can't
Bengals
get
in my
far
opinion.
behind baseball.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too. You don't want to be 3 games in the hole. That's not.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So yeah, I can definitely hear you on that.
So I think the Bengals will step up and win this game. Bills is kind of riding high, and that might be like not a good omen for them.
Right.
If they as far as not saying riding high, but as far as like get ahead for a second, and the Bengals come in with a game plan like you said, that's serious and catch them off guard. Because
Right.
I would say the Bills are I would say they're the better team
Yeah, I would too.
from what
Absolutely.
they've put out on the field so far. But of course the Bills played the Jets and the Giants. So,
Right. Absolutely.
but I got the Bengals winning that game. It'd be like 20-19 or something like that. You know.
2019.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds about a Buffalo Bills Cincinnati Bengals type of score. So I
Right.
can see that happening. No doubt. What's the next game?
Lions versus the Eagles in Philly.
Lions versus the Eagles in Philly. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Um, the Detroit Lions. Here's my category. Here's my I guess my I have a word for I have a word for the Detroit Lions that I'm searching for. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I'll let you know in a second.
All
Um,
right.
okay, you know what? I found it. You ever seen the movie Goonies?
Yeah.
Okay, the Detroit The Detroit Lions.
Where's this going? I can't wait to hear where this is going. But go ahead.
Okay, Detroit Lions is the his name was he
Is
was a character. He looked very different. I don't know if you remember. His name was I think it was Quasimodo. I'm not sure, but he was his head was very deformed.
right.
Uh, and he had one big eye and one little tiny eye. He had like two teeth in his mouth, and
Yeah, Chunk. Talking
he
about
wasn't
no,
very,
not Chunk. Chunk was the chubby kid.
yeah. He,
Um, you talking about the guy who be like, "Hey, you guys."
yes, him. That's the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is terrible.
That's the Detroit Lions.
Oh man.
You want to root for them, because they play their little hearts out. You know what I'm saying? But
Right,
at the end of the day, they're very, 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 very. Their growth is so stunted. That
right,
they can't help but be just an average or below average team.
right.
So I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Detroit Lions. It's not gonna be a blowout because Detroit will compete. So I would say, Carson Wentz will probably throw for maybe close to 300 yards, maybe two or three touchdowns.
Right.
But Detroit will lose the game. The Philadelphia Eagles will win a game uh, 28 to 26. It'll be a competitive game, but Philly will they'll uh, they'll win the game. Philly, I got Philly winning that game.
Okay.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
it's in Philly. I mean, I think the Eagles are the better team than the Lions.
Mm.
So just being unbiased, um, I think the Eagles will beat the Lions. You know, score will be like 26-13
Okay, that's a good
for the
score.
Eagles, and um, but I hope they lose to the Lions.
No doubt.
Personally, but professionally, I got the Eagles beating the Lions.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hope the act.
26-13.
I hope the Lions do beat the Eagles, but again, professionally, I got the Eagles, but the Lions, I'm praying they do. I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. That's what I want. I lost my train of thought there. That's what I want. I want the Eagles to beat the Lions, and I think that's going to happen. Um,
Yeah, I was gonna say because that's your division. That's
right,
the
right,
Vikings. Yeah, so and that's why I
right,
want the Eagles to lose. But I'm gonna pick the Eagles because I know they're the better team.
right.
And I
So,
can't I can't pick every game can't be an upset.
right, exactly.
I already
Well,
got the Bengals beating the Bills in Buffalo, so I mean, hey.
yeah, true. All right, what's the next?
Next game is the Jets and the Patriots in New England.
Patriots. What's the next game?
Yeah, I got Patriots too. A lot to a little. That's the score. It's gonna be a lot to a little.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't even know why they're even playing that game, to be honest with you. But hey, it is what it is. This is why they play the games.
Yeah,
But
they got to play the game.
yeah, I got the Patriots winning the game. Period.
Yeah, I got the Patriots winning that one
I'm
too.
and you know what, Russ? I'm not even calling call score. I'm just the Patriots gonna beat the Jets. Period.
Yeah.
Next game up.
The next game up,
Yeah.
Falcons Colts.
Falcons. Oh, that's the very intriguing one right there, Russ. Um. Wow. And they're at Indianapolis, right?
Yeah, and Indianapolis in the dome. So both dome teams.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I'm gonna go with the Colts, Russ. I'm gonna go with the Colts. The Colts have a pretty underrated defense. Um, Jacoby Brissett, I believe, is ascending as a franchise quarterback. He's not a franchise quarterback yet because he has yet to prove it, but I think he can be given more reps, more games under his belt. I think he can get there eventually. So I'm gonna go with the Indianapolis Colts. Uh, because of their defense and because of the stellar play and the steady play of Jacoby Brissett. So Colts. Um, I'll go Colts 31, Falcons 27.
I mean, okay. Well, I mean, the Falcons and the Colts. I got the Colts winning this game myself as well.
Okay.
Um, I think I agree with you about Jacoby Brissett. He just seems like a kid that is going to continue to get better.
Right.
And like you were saying, the more reps he has, the more time he's playing, more experiences, he's only going to get better and he's only going to learn, I believe. I think he's that type of quarterback, and I think he'll have a good showing, you know, at home
Right.
in front of the crowd and everything. And the Falcons, man, I mean, they've done it in stunts, but they're definitely not. I'm telling you, I that's why I picked them to be last in that division, but
Okay.
in their division, you know, I got the
Okay.
Falcons. I mean, I
Falcons.
not the Falcons. I got the Colts. I mean,
Colts. Okay, I got you.
yeah.
I got you. What's the next game?
Raiders Vikings.
Well, yeah, I tell you, you go first. You go first because I
Yeah.
say on this game.
So I got the Raiders in this one, um, in a blowout. I got the final score 58.
Come on, Russ. You can't be real, yo. 58. Yeah, what did we not literally like we not literally show up for the game? Sheesh. 58.
Whoa. It's my picks, man. Nah. I'm just messing with you. Nah. But
I figured that.
in all seriousness, um I got the Vikings beating the Raiders. I mean, Vikings are at home. I think Kirk Cousins will bounce back.
Mhm.
Raiders, I still can't tell what I'm looking at there. I'm still they show me some, some good play,
Right.
but then I've also seen some where it's not consistent, and I still want to see more of them to see really what they're about. I kind of know more what the Vikings are about.
Right.
You know, we
Yeah.
already got them it's figured out. Like you said, it's in the hands of Kirk Cousins.
Right. Absolutely.
It's very simple to see that one, but the Raiders, you're still trying to see what do they really have there. You know,
Right. Let's see what they
so
are.
but I got the Vikings. It'll be like 21-7.
Hmm.
Vikings.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, since my beloved Vikings are playing the Raiders, all right. Here we go. Our defense, to me, is top five. So I'll pick the Vikings in this one. Um, only because the Raiders are the Detroit Lions cousins. Because the Raiders right now, they don't know that they're a hole from the elbow. So I don't, the Minnesota Vikings defense is tremendous. It's fast. It's very
Right,
experienced. Um, I think our defense is just we play lights out defense.
right,
We have great weapons on offense, obviously with Diggs and Thielen and Rudolph and Irv Smith Jr. and Dalvin Cook.
right,
Again, Russ, we've said it. You've said it 1,000 times. It comes down to the quarterback position, man. I
right.
think, however, I think Kirk will bounce back in his game. When I say bounce back, I'm not saying he's going to have a 300 plus passing game. He'll have a pretty good, so he'll have some pretty good numbers. He'll have some pretty good numbers. I think we'll just methodically, um, sort of, break down the Raiders to the point that I think we'll probably outscore them by maybe 10 points. Uh, I'm going I'm going I'm going 27 to I'm going 27 to 19 Minnesota. Um,
Okay.
get our second win at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next game up,
Hmm.
Ravens Chiefs in Kansas City.
Wow. Wow, that's a tough one.
That's a big game right there.
Huge game. Huge. Wow,
That's gonna
that's
tell a story right there. That game will tell us the outcome is gonna tell a story.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs on that one because they're at home. The Chiefs have, Russ. I don't know if you noticed this, and you probably do, but the Chiefs have the type of home field advantage that rivals college games. You
Yeah,
know,
they've always been like that though.
yeah. I mean, they have a huge, and their fans they get into it, man. You know,
Yeah.
going to Arrowhead Stadium, that's one of the hardest places to win
Right. Right.
football. Period.
Right.
So with that, with that combined with Patrick Mahomes's offensive prowess, and I know they don't have Tyreek Hill yet, but I mean they got other weapons. Sammy Watkins woke up last week. Um, you know,
Right.
Travis Kelsey's one of the better tight ends in the league. You got Mahomes. I just think you know what it is, Russ. I think Baltimore will be game for it. They'll put up their points, but I think the Chiefs they just got too much offense. I think that's what and ultimately do the Ravens in too much offense from the Chiefs. Um, 36 to 36 to 27. Kansas City Chiefs beat the Ravens.
Okay. Um, I got the Ravens winning this game against the Chiefs.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's gonna be a huge
That's an
matchup
upset, right?
between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes,
So you picking another upset.
two young stars. Yeah, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
But I think the Ravens will have a strong defensive day against the Chiefs
Uh,
and slow that offense down a little bit,
uh,
and they will have success. And I got it being like 28-24
20.
Ravens over the Chiefs.
Wow. That's high praise, man, for the Ravens. Holy Jesus. Woo. Going to Kansas City and holding that powerful offense down to 24 points. That's
Yeah,
that's praise for the Ravens right there. I mean, that's I'm not saying it's impossible, but wow, that's tough. But okay. All right. What's the next game?
Broncos Packers
Bron-
in Lambeau.
Um, wow, Broncos looked terrible last week.
Yeah,
Um,
they
I
did.
mean, wow. You know what? Mm, 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 mm. Man, I'll go to the Broncos. I'm picking my upset. That's an upset. That's my upset special of the week.
They're gonna beat the Packers. Hey, I would love that, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
the Broncos are going. They're going to beat the Packers. I think the Broncos defense will wake up. Because last week they didn't wake up. They were still sleeping. Um, the Broncos defense will wake up. I think Joe Flacco will make enough plays on offense for the Broncos to score because I mean Aaron Rodgers again. He's Aaron Rodgers. I know he's got weapons, but I think the Broncos defense got embarrassed last week, and I think they'll bounce back this week with a dominant performance against the Green Bay Packers and slow the Packers down so much to the point that you know it'll look like the Packers it looked like the Packers just didn't show up for that game. So I'll go with the upset. I'm going
They
Broncos.
definitely showed up last week, though.
It did show up last week. Uh, you know, but Kirk Cousins had something to do with that. But yeah, I'll go Denver, Denver 26 and Green Bay 20.
Okay.
Hmm?
Um, I got the Packers winning this game,
Okay.
and it'd be like 31-14.
Damn. Okay. All right. Explain yourself, sir.
I mean,
31.
I think the Packers are gonna beat the Broncos. The Broncos, had that game against the Bears, and they were at home. That was at home. Now you going to Lambeau. I mean, it's gonna be rough. I think the Bears right now the Packers have played the best out of that division so far. Not saying they are the best, but
Right.
they played the best so far out of that division.
Okay. Well, all
So
right.
I just think that the Broncos, I don't know. They're another one of those teams that I don't know what I'm looking at yet over
Right.
there. You know,
Right.
so I see what the Packers are, and I got the Packers winning that game
Okay.
big.
Pretty formidable. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But again, that's my upset special of the week. Denver over Green Bay. So
Right.
yeah, and you
I've
went.
got a couple already upsets. I got to stop with the upsets, right?
Uh-huh.
But
um. So what's the next game up?
next game, we in the 4 o'clock games now.
All
It's
right.
the Panthers and the Cardinals
Panthers and Cardinals. Wow, that's a. You know what?
in in Arizona.
In Arizona. Wow. Well, if Cam Newton plays, then I'll give the Panthers the edge. But if he doesn't, um, if he doesn't play, I'll go with the Cardinals to win that game. So I guess it depends because I heard there was some reports coming out that Cam Newton might not play in that game.
Right.
You know, so let's say okay, I'll go like this: if Cam plays, win. Panthers win 27-24. If Cam doesn't play, Cardinals win. Uh, Cardinals win 33-26.
33-26.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And here's a side note: if Cam plays, he shows up to the game pregame before the game starts with
Oh
uh
Lord. Here
with
we
some
go.
empty. He's, he shows up to the game with some leggings on, like
Uh,
yoga pants and a blouse.
it's
That's
it's it's
and
funny,
Russ,
but then it's like it's possible.
right.
It's possible for what we've
Look,
seen. I mean, it's
now,
possible.
right now, Russ. This is before the game. Now, after the game, he'll probably show up to the press conference with like it's called a tutu when like what things that ballerinas wear. The little ballerina tutu they put
Yeah,
around it.
yeah.
So he'll have some more leggings on with the tutu and maybe like a halter top.
No, stop.
So there you have
It's crazy, man. It's possible though. Like he could come out with exactly what you just said. Like we
it.
don't
Right.
know. We don't know.
I mean, hell, if what's the name can come out with a full fledged dress,
Dress, yeah,
Melvin Ingram, if he can come out
right.
with a dress, I mean, Jesus Christ,
And his
next thing you
legs.
know,
What did he shave his legs? Like what in the world is going on these days? Like what's going? That picture looked really, really crazy. It looked crazy,
it did,
but
it did. Oh my God, listen, listen, I've seen it all now, Russ.
yeah,
If Cam Newton shows up with you know a Garter belt, you know what I'm saying, with I wouldn't put it past. So
right.
but yeah, that's my prediction. If Cam plays, the Panthers win uh 27-24. If not, the Cardinals win 33-26.
Right.
Yeah. So
All right.
what say you?
I got the Cardinals winning this game.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be like a 14-3 game.
14-3. Wow.
Yeah,
Hmm. Now,
it's
even if
hard.
Cam play,
Yeah, either way,
okay,
either way.
all right. So you're saying if Cam plays, they'll still lose, right?
Yes, yes.
And what do you think Cam will look like in that game? Just curious.
I think we're gonna see what we've already seen.
Which is inconsistent play.
Yeah,
Okay. I tend to agree with you on that. To be honest with you, I tend to agree with you on that. Laura, so let me ask you a question before we move on.
hmm
Do you do you think Cam Newton can truly be an elite quarterback in this league? When I say elite, top 10 quarterback in this league.
I think he was well on his way to being an elite. He
Right.
became one of the elites, but he's kind of fallen off since the Super Bowl
Right.
loss.
Right.
And that's happened to a lot of people after losing a Super Bowl. So, but but I think he has the talent to, yeah, to be one of the elites. And if he could have built off of that success from that season, maybe if he had handled it differently, I don't know. But if he had built off of what happened that year, and gotten better and learned from the situation, and you saw he hasn't. It seems like he got stagnant after that, not continued to improve. He still has all his talents and is there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not consistent anymore. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not consistent.
Mm.
So he
Yeah.
has it to be elite, but will he be that? I don't know.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
From what I've seen, it's just staying the same.
I
It's
agree.
not getting any better.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yep. What's the next game?
We got the Giants and the Buccaneers.
Wow. So okay, we got Daniel Jones coming back, being the new starter, named the new starter
Right.
of New York Giants yesterday. Well, given the fact that I don't know what Daniel Jones looks like in a regular season game, I'm
Right.
gonna go ahead and go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
Right.
because Daniel Jones, he's a rookie. His first game starting is it, and you say it's on the road, right?
Yeah, it's in Tampa Bay.
Okay. I don't. That's the now. Any if it was in New York, I might have picked the Giants, but it's not. So I'm gonna go ahead with the Buccaneers beating the Giants. Um, I think what they're gonna do is to basically stack the box, make sure uh, say quads don't run wild on them. Um, and make Daniel Jones prove that he's ready. And I don't think he is right now at this point. He will eventually be ready one day, but not this weekend. So um, I think he struggles in this game, and I think he might even throw a pick six. Who knows? Or fumble for recovery for a touchdown. But I'll go Tampa Bay. I'll go Tampa Bay 24, New York Giants 9.
Three field goals
Right.
or a touchdown and a safety.
Yeah, something like that. But under double digits, under.
Right. I got you. I got you.
Mhm. What
Yeah.
about you?
I think I agree, but then I differ on just the one little part. I think Daniel Jones will play well.
Okay.
I think he'll play well in this game. And he will show he will definitely show that he's the real deal. He'll
Okay.
show that he'll show that, yeah, there's something about him, that he's got something with him. Like you said, the it factor. I think this kid is a good quarterback and will be. I think the Giants got a good pick there. You know, but I don't think they're gonna win this game. But I think he'll play well.
Okay.
He'll play well. Even if he makes a mistake, even if those pick, he'll show enough that people will say, okay, I want to see more.
Okay.
So he'll play well, but I think the Buccaneers will beat them, will beat the Giants because I think they have the better team. Um, And the score, I got it being like 34-23.
34-23. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's high praise. That's high praise. That's pretty high praise actually. Uh, for the Giants, for Daniel Jones. That's good. All right. That's cool. So, what's the next game?
Saints Seahawks
Wow.
in
Man.
Seattle.
Mm. I'm gonna go with another upset. I'm going with the New Orleans Saints will beat the Seattle Seahawks. Very
Mm,
narrow margin of victory.
wow.
Um, yes, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's it's wow. It's gonna be 20 Saints 24, Seahawks 21. Um, I think Teddy Bridgewater, along with Taysom Hill, because they'll mix Taysom Hill in there somehow. Um, to kind of throw the defense off a little bit. But I think Teddy Bridgewater will rise to the occasion and 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 play well enough for for the Saints to win the game. I think that Seattle will underestimate them because Drew Brees is not there. I think Seattle will kind of mentally relax, if you will, mentally relax. You know what I mean? Some teams,
Right.
even though, I mean, it's just a natural human nature. When you know you're better than the team and you know you should be the team, you kind of relax mentally,
Right.
which takes away from your play physically. Um,
Right.
so I'm gonna go ahead and say the New Orleans Saints go to Seattle and steal a win. Go on, and I mean I'm talking about when I say steal it, I'm talking about maybe I'm talking about the score probably, like I said, 24-21. 20, you know what? 24-23 Saints.
Wow. 1 point game. Okay.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I got I think it's kind of similar to the last game that we picked, the Giants Bucks. I
Mhm,
think that Teddy Bridgewater will play well
mhm.
for the Saints. I think he's gonna have a decent game and surprise. Still give the element of surprise, like what you were saying, but I just don't think that they will pull off the upset.
Mhm.
Um, I think the Seahawks will beat them. But it will be a very competitive game, more competitive than what people expect since Drew Brees is out and it's in
Right.
Seattle and everything. But I think it'll be a very competitive game. But I got the Seahawks winning 33-28.
33-28. Okay. All right. I can see that score happening, but I'm gonna go ahead with the upset. That's I mean, again, that's the Seahawks is my pick to win, to go to the Super Bowl and lose. So
Right.
I can see them winning that. I'm not, again, I'm picking the upset. So you know, it is what it is. What's the next game?
Texans Chargers. That's a tough one.
Another tough one. Yeah, no doubt. Well, given the fact that the Chargers just came off a just a boneheaded loss, for
Right.
some, that was a very confusing loss to the Detroit Lions. I couldn't believe.
And the Chargers have done that for years.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And
They'll just do that.
I think there'll be more focus in this game though against the Texans. Now, where is it again?
It's
Is
in
it in?
I was about to say San Diego, but it's in LA.
It's in L.A. Okay. Wow, it's in L.A. Hmm. Wow, that's a tough one, Russ. You're right. Um, well, I got to pick, so I got to make a pick. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Houston Texans. I'm gonna pick the Houston Texans to win that game. Um, the Houston Texans will win that game. Another narrow margin. I think San Diego always plays tough at home. However, that's not a really big home field advantage of theirs. So at least for now, until they get into the new stadium. So Texans. I'll go Texans. 29. San Diego Chargers 27. Um, the Texans kick a last second field goal to win it.
Okay.
So, yeah, Deshaun Watson gets them in field goal range, and they set up for a field goal and kick it and win it, and it's still a win.
Okay. Not too far off from there. Um, I actually got the Texans winning this game as well.
Okay,
Um, and I know I picked the Chargers to to win the West. I believe you did as well. We both did. But I think the Texans, Watson is another special player. And I think he's gonna have a big game. And the Chargers still need a little bit more time to get things together. I think, but they'll get it. They'll eventually get it together. But I think they'll lose this game. And I got the final score. I got it. I'm with you with the field goal thing. It's 30-27
30
Texans.
20. Okay, bet. That's a good one. That's I can definitely see that happening too. I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
All right. Any what's the next game?
Steelers 49ers.
Ooh. Oh man. I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's in San Francisco, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers on that one. I believe Mason Rudolph with with a week under his belt, all the reps, all the time, all the film that he has to study now that he had to, and he's been learning from Big Ben since he's been in the league for I think a couple of years now. Um, I think he'll I think he'll play pretty well, and I think the Steelers will shock. They'll shock. They'll shock them. I think the Steelers will shock them. I do. I think San Francisco, they're looking good right now. They're riding high to 2-0. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's going to be a high scoring game as well. I'm looking at
Right.
I'm looking at I would say 38-35 Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Hmm.
I think I agree with you. The Steelers will win this game on the road, and it'll be the score will be like 17-14 now.
Wow, it's a low scoring game.
Yeah, I don't think it's
That's
gonna be a high scoring game.
okay. Hmm.
Yeah, they're
Why is
gonna.
that? Why do you think that?
I think that the Steelers will come out and have a good game. They'll be energized. They got something to prove, and they'll play good defense and slow that game down by playing good defense. And that's why I don't think it'll be a high scoring game. Um, so I got the Steelers winning a close one, but not a high scoring game. More of a defensive battle than offensive.
Okay. All right. All right. I mean, like I said, that's another upset of mine. So you know, uh, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the next game?
We got the Rams and the Browns in Cleveland.
Rams and Browns.
Yeah,
Yikes.
that's another
I'm,
good game, man. Some good games this week.
it really is. It truly is. I'll go ahead and go with I'm gonna go with the Rams. Um, the Rams are gonna beat the Browns. The Browns right now the Browns seem to be fraudulent at this point. I'm not saying they are, but
Right.
seem to be because
Perception. Yep.
yeah, yeah, I know Odell and Jarvis Landry and all the weapons they got on offense and the improved defense. But I'm gonna go with the Rams because I believe the Rams have a potent offense. They have a quarterback who was experienced in Jared Goff. He's been to the mountain. He never went to the mountaintop, if you know what I mean. But he's
Right.
been in some good battles. So I'll go with the Rams. Todd Gurley's gonna have a great game. Um, you know, Aaron Donald's going to dominate, and it's going to be a close game, though. It's going to be a close game, Russ, because the Cleveland Browns will fight because of Baker Mayfield. I believe Baker will make some plays off schedule that'll help. That'll put him in position to score some points. So I'm gonna go ahead and say uh, the Rams will win. I would say the 30 to 24.
Okay.
30 for Rams.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got the Rams winning this game as well. Beating the Browns in Cleveland. It'll be a good game, I think. I think the Rams are the better team overall for many of the players you just named and stuff. So um, I like Baker. I like that Cleveland is how they rebuild and got young players. That's a good way to rebuild, and they might have something there finally, in Cleveland, but not so. I got the Rams winning that game 28-17 on the road.
2017 on a roll. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I guess we both agree on that one then. All right. So what's the next game?
Um, the Bears and the Redskins in
All right.
DC.
I'm gonna let you handle that one last. I'll do it first because it's in your division. I think the Chicago Bears will win that game. However, I think the Redskins will be up for the challenge. They'll give the Bears a really hard time. Um, it'll be a really really close game, Russ, because the Bears right now seem to be struggling on offense. So um, I'll go with the Bears because of their defense. There will be a defensive score in that game. I think it's going to come from one of their defensive linemen, maybe a sack fumble or something like that, maybe from Khalil Mack or Leonard Floyd, one of those guys, or even Akeem Hicks. But there will be a turnover there that kind of changes the momentum of the game into the Chicago Bears' favor, and I think the Bears will beat the Washington Redskins um, 20-17.
Okay.
You.
All right. I got the Bears beating the Redskins as well, and you know, Redskins being at home. I think the Bears are just a better team, and they'll they'll find a way to beat the Redskins, or the Redskins will find a way to beat themselves as they do a lot. You know,
Yeah,
um,
I agree.
they start off very fast. They're like front runners. They start off fast, and then it's like that's all they got. They used up all their energy, and then it is the other team strikes back, and then it's over.
Start fast and then they start running out of gas.
Right? Yeah, really fast.
Hmm.
You
So
know.
yeah, I hear you. I think
So
that's
I got the Bears winning that game against the Skins. Um, it'd be like 20-13.
20-13.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we one thing we have in common with that game, both somebody scoring at least at the most points will be 20.
Right.
You know? So got you. All right. Well, does that
And that's
conclude
it.
our
Yep,
picks?
that's the Monday night game. The
All right.
Bears and the Redskins.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Well, now, do we have any marquee college games this weekend? I know Michigan playing Wisconsin. Uh, when, I think Michigan's playing Wisconsin. I don't know who.
Yeah, we
I,
talked about that yesterday.
yeah, we did talk. You're right. I'm sorry. We did talk about that yesterday. We did. But I mean, we can always recap that over next week, over next week podcast. You know what I mean?
Right.
We can do that next week, next Tuesday. Get together. So, all right. Well, I mean, that's what we covered. That's the show, baby.
Yeah, that's it. So there's our predictions is recorded, so we can't change it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. And if one of us is trying to act like we didn't make their pick, we can always come back
Right,
to
right. Yeah. I mean,
check.
yeah, we can come back and we'll know it's already on the tape. So
Exactly.
I mean,
All
what
right,
do y'all
bro.
think
So
out there? All our listeners out there, who do y'all think is gonna win these games? Who do you think? You know, send us your picks.
yes, exactly. Please. And don't worry, your picks won't matter because we'll be right. And chances are you'll be wrong. So So just don't take it personally. And you know
Right.
what? You know, I always say, we don't want to ruffle no feathers, but if we do,
Right. If you do, pluck them.
pluck them. All right, Russ.
All right.
Later.
On that note, thanks for listening out there, and we'll be back for the next episode.
Yes, sir. We'll be back next Tuesday for recaps and
Right.
more content.
Yes. Yes. A
All
lot
right,
of
Russ.
sports going on, fellas, or people out there. So enjoy, man. This is the time. Especially pretty soon we'll have basketball and we'll be in
Absolutely.
sports heaven at that
Yes,
time.
sir. Yes, sir. Basketball. That's right. All right. So stay tuned for the next episode, folks.
All
We'll
right.
get back at you.
Yeah.
All right, Russ. Peace.
All right.